Our liaison, Alderman O'Brien.
The first item is the agenda. Commissioner Moriarty.
Move to approve the agenda as presented.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is the minutes of the last meeting, September 22. Commissioner Lemon.
Motion is to approve the minutes of the Board of Public Works meeting of September 22nd, 2022.
Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Public comment. Is there any member of the public who would like to address the Board of Public Works? Next, we have BOA referrals. Item A, Commissioner Schoeneman.
I recommend a positive referral to authorize R-22-065, authorizing the mayor and the city treasurer to issue bonds not to exceed $7,050,000 for various improvements and equipment at the Solid Waste Department, Four Hills Landfill.
Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. Next next item is item B, Commissioner Moriarty.
The motion would be a positive recommendation for R-22-067, authorizing the mayor and city treasurer to issue bonds not to exceed $6,394,575 for the city's sewer infrastructure program and sewer structures.
Discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. We're now on to the Parks Department. Mr. Conant is here. Item A, Commissioner Lemon.
I motion to approve the contract with Erickson Foundations of Hudson, New Hampshire in the amount of $48,995.45 for the Crown Hill concrete decking repair. Funding will be through Department 177 Park and Recreation, funds, prior year escrow, activity, citywide pool repairs.
Good evening, everyone. Brian Conant, Superintendent of Parks and Recreation. The concrete decking around the pool at Crown Hill has sunken in several areas. It makes quite a tripping hazard. What this is going to do, the poly level, they will drill small holes into the concrete, and it's kind of like expandable foam. It goes in liquid, and then within a matter of seconds, it expands into foam, lifts up the concrete, and not only will, solve the sunken issues that we have on there, but it will make it so it doesn't happen again. And with this, there's also a drain being installed in front of the lifeguard locker room building. The way the roof is over there, it comes off the roof. It's a gambrel style roof. It always puddles in front of the doors there. This drain is going to alleviate that. So I'd be happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Anyone? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, the Street Department. Item A, Commissioner Schoeneman.
I move to approve the purchase of winter road salt from Granite State Minerals of Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and Eastern Minerals Incorporated of Chelsea, Massachusetts, in the amount of $465,000. Funding will be through Department 161, Fund General, Account Classification 61, Supplies and Materials.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. Commissioners. John Ibarra, Superintendent, Street Department. This is our budgeted annual expenditure for our road salt for winter road maintenance. And it'll be awarded to the same outfit we've been using in the past. You'll see the price has increased considerable from 2 years ago. It's up another $7, rough figures. So we're going to cut into what we used to be able to procure about 9,300 ton, and now we're about 5,800 ton due to the increase in that price. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Commissioner Lemon.
I assume that if there's leftover salt, you just save it?
We stockpile it in the barn. Yep,
Thank you.
welcome.
Commissioner Moriarty.
Yeah, Superintendent, so you've noticed, though, that we've been using less salt anyway with the brining routine? Yeah,
That's correct. We calculate rough figures of about 20% savings,
20%.
and combined with last year's milder season, we did have a lot of ice, so we did burn some hard product, but we are noticing a difference in our operation.
Great.
Anyone else? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Motion passes. Now we have the wastewater department. Now, I don't see Mr. Boucher.
Engineer Hudson will be speaking to us this evening.
Well, we first have item A. Commissioner Moriarty.
The motion is to approve the user warrants as presented.
All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item B, Commissioner Lemon.
The motion is to approve Amendment 1 to the contract with Hazen and Sawyer for dynamic rate model services in an amount not to exceed $15,863. Funding for this contract will be through Department 169-Wastewater, Fund, Wastewater, Account Category 53, Professional and Technical Services.
So Dan Hudson, city engineer, speak to this briefly. We contracted with Hazen and Sawyer to do a dynamic rates model, set that up. Basically, it will enable us to plug in projects and revenue and quickly evaluate how that affects future rate needs. So we contracted them. The work has been underway, but though the completion has been delayed by a couple of things, one of which is a major change to the city's billing software. So they had started to set their system up, and then now it needs to be revised. And then also we've been looking at the projects in the 20-year plan and really digging in deep into the 20-year improvement plan for the wastewater treatment plant. Basically plugging in all those projects and slotting them with years and those sorts of things, really developing a comprehensive layout of capital needs. So due to the duration of the extension and the bit of a change of scope here, we're looking for this amendment. We do expect that we will be before the board in December to make a presentation on rates going forward. You'll recall we adopted rates like 3 years worth of rates. First couple years were increases, and then the third year no increase. And I believe we're coming into the third year of that.
Yes.
So we'll be able to, with this final model, be able to present the outcomes in the picture looking forward and be able to talk again about what the rate needs are going forward.
Anyone? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We now have the engineering department. Item A, Commissioner Shine.
I move to approve the sewer service permits and fees as submitted.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Now, item B, Commissioner Moriarty.
Move to approve poll license petition number 21-1628, number 21-1631, number 21-1637.
All right. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Now we have an informational item, which is the 2022 paving program. I think.
Yeah, it is an informational, and there's a memo on the file, but I did want to take the opportunity to bring Engineer Saunders up here just to basically give the board a recap what we accomplished this year and a look ahead forward. And so I asked him to come just speak to what's in the memo, but there's no motion or approval needed or requested.
Mark Saunders, Senior Staff Engineer. Yeah, as Engineer Hutchins said, we've wrapped up the paving program for this year. About last week was all the mainline paving. We still do have some miscellaneous items that are currently underway, but the heavy lifting has been completed. Before paving is weather sensitive, so as winter's moving in, as we all know, I'm happy to report that everything's been wrapped up. With that being said, we opened about 71 different streets this year, which equated to about 15 miles of new roadway that was paved. That was done with about 38,000 tons of asphalt. This contract we had was with Sunshine Paving in the amount of around $4.5 million. As a part of the roadway paving, the paving is actually just a piece of it. We actually, there's other aspects of it. So one of those, a big one that we do look at is replacing obsolete and non-standard castings. So we adjusted, those are the manholes, the catch basins you see on the roadways. About 850 of those were adjusted through this program, and that's replacing. As you go through the city, you'll see some of the triangle ones. That's what I mean when I say obsolete. So we replaced those with DOT standard, larger diameter manholes for access. A part of the paving program, we are looking to improve ADA access. So this year we reconstructed 131 ramps throughout these roadways, and we also installed several catch basins to help improve drainage issues. We do scan these roads for utility conflicts, and unfortunately, we do have to defer some roads that we will be looking to do in '23. The main reason for these deferments is that there's still conflicts under the roads that need to be accomplished and completed before we pave this road, because the last thing we want to do is come here with a moratorium request. So I just want to highlight some of the roads that, and the reasons why they were deferred, just to give you guys the information. Don Street, Pennachuck has to replace their water main. That work is scheduled in '23. So once Pennachuck has cleared that road, that will be reclaimed. Edmond Drive, through our CCTV program, we noticed several spots on that road that needed open excavation repair. So we were able to accomplish half that road, and the other half will be slated for '23. Factory Street, we are looking to do a comprehensive design, which includes some drainage separation and a complete roadway design. That's curb to curb. So that effort will be underway this winter, and we're hoping to pave Factory Street in '23 as well. Medical Center Drive in East Hollis, there's a suspect sewer pipe under Medical Center Drive that is, we don't believe that it needs replacing, but it needs heavy cleaning, and we're hoping that our cleaning contractor and pipelining contractor, Kenyon, can come in and accomplish that so we can clear that road and get that section of road paved. Pine Hill Ave, Liberty needs to replace their gas main. However, in replacing the gas main, they would have had to come before the board for a moratorium request, and the roadway was less than a year old. So in doing so, we've deferred that section of gas main, which they were okay with, and they're going to reroute it down another road that's coming out of moratorium in '23 to avoid that conflict. And lastly, Swart Terrace. It's a road that we've been looking to pave for quite some time. We actually, Liberty went through and required an easement through the railroad tracks to reduce load on their whole system, and by doing that, they saved open excavation of several other roads in the area. They're actively still working on that road. It should be complete within the next week or so, and that's going to be slated for '23 as well. So in '23, currently, to kind of give you guys the look ahead, we are ramping back up to spend the bonded $7.5 million. We will be, we're currently screening the roadways. Right now, the utilities have the preliminary list. It's about 30 miles that we kind of sent to them and as a whole, and that's going to be reduced through conversations with Pennachuck, Liberty, as well as our in-house screening these utilities, so we have a successful season in '23. Happy to answer any questions or comments at this time.
Commissioner Moriarty.
I just had a couple questions. One, I kind of remember when we did the Prospect Parkway, which is now Veterans Parkway, a number of like $1 million a mile to pave, but it looks like you're getting much more than that. If we did 15 miles this year, and it was, what did we spend, $6 million this year?
Yeah, thank you, Mark Saunders, Senior Staff Engineer. Great question. It does vary. We're presenting miles, but each roadway is different. To go pave Amherst Street is going to cost X per mile to go pave a residential roadway. Typically, the prices we have been seeing in about the last 5 years, it's about $350,000 a mile for residential roadways and closer to about double that for arterial roadways. That, and like I said, it does vary. Collector roads, arterial roads, for example, Main Street's close to 70 feet in width. Amherst Street, you're closer to 90. And then something like a Lake Street, you're closer to 40. So it all really varies per the road that's assigned. But typically, that's kind of the numbers we've been seeing, residential versus arterial, as kind of a rougher numbers, but something good to base off of.
That's perfect, thank you. One other question, Mayor. Coincidentally, I just had a resident ask me about Sawyer Street, where he lives. Would that happen to be on your radar at all?
So we have about 1,500 segments of pavement. Sawyer Street, I would have to get back to you and do some research and.
That's fine.
Anyone else? So how's it going with GSSI and trying to determine the compaction of the rolling of the pavement as it's being done?
So they have not actually started that program yet. This year, when we write the contract, we're going to put some type of clause that they're going to be obligated to work with them. And that'll go out to bid. We'll see who's the bidder. It just based on how much tons were left and the communication, it's kind of between the contractor and GSSI to get together. I know we sat them down at the table and we initiated that conversation, and I mean, I'm personally excited about it as well. But this year, 23, we'll have something contractually that we can help them develop that technology for the rest of the country and world to use.
All right, well, all those, we don't need a motion. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have another informational issue, which is the street, item D, street opening permits. Any questions or comments about that? All right. We now go on to administration. We have two informational items, the FY23 escrows and the director's report. So I will turn it over to Lisa.
Okay, thank you. So I did want to include the 2023 escrows that were approved by the Board of Aldermen, just so you could see. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. I think the mayor would tell you that we fought pretty hard for them.
Just a couple questions, Director. I noticed on the Park and Rec ice rink roof replacement, so I don't know where that is, the ice rink roof.
So that is actually something that was repurposed. So that's not the actual, that was the original budgeted purpose, but it's actually being repurposed for, let me see here, for citywide ball field repairs.
Oh, okay.
So that's what the escrow is for now.
And the other question I had, it seems like I was looking at the cost, again, Park and Rec for portable toilets. $235,000, is that possible?
We are in the wrong business.
So Commissioner Lemon could speak to this, actually. So no, it's not $235,000 for portable toilets, though. It's $15,000. The $235,000 is for Park and Rec equipment.
Oh, equipment, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But the extra, just to answer your question for the extra portable toilets, those are actually for the homeless.
Yep.
That we're placing in different areas.
Rightly so.
Of the city, so.
Have they
Totally
gotten there
agree.
yet?
Yes, I believe they have. I've been told they have, yes. Finally. It took forever.
Great.
Yeah, it took a really long time.
That's it for me.
Okay.
Anyone else? All right, why don't we go into the director's report?
I'm going to try to do this myself with a nice clicker that Dan has let us use. So the first slide, this is not correct. This is not my report. Okay,
It's not?
no. Oop. Okay, maybe it starts, maybe there was just one in there. Okay, this, hopefully this is gonna be okay now. This is Appaloosa Place. This is Sunshine Paving, did final paving here on September 16th. This is a company that we used called Flow Assessment, and they're under contract with Wastewater to install flow meters and sewer structures at various locations around the city. And they installed flow meters in sewer and drainage mains on Factory Street on October 13th. The flow meters allow the assessment of sewer and stormwater flows. The flow data is used to assess the capacity of our system. And we also use the information to report to regulatory agencies. So, this is Garden Street. This is sewer and water replacement. This was done by SUR West. Here you can see them installing a sewer manhole and excavating the water trench. That work was done on October 14th. This is at Atherton Park. That park is coming along nicely. We had hoped to be further along, but it's been a tremendous amount of work. This picture is the, yeah, this is all, oh, okay. This is, oh, this, I don't know what's going on here with these slides. These are not, oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Something is, so this is the crews pouring the foundation for the irrigation building. There are a number of other, the soccer fields, we did a lot of grading and blending. The soil was not suitable, so we had to add some sand, and that was a lot of work. The irrigation that you just saw, that will be installed in the next couple of weeks. The fields unfortunately will not be seeded until the spring, so we probably won't be ready for play until the fall. The basketball court, we're waiting for the basketball hoops. Those should be in soon, and then we'll at least get those up. And I think at the parking lot expansion, we're hoping to pave the parking lot in the next few weeks, but that may be another thing that ends up waiting until spring, depending on weather. So, but it is coming along nicely, and it'll be very nice. We also do plan to add a playground to that park, which will be a really nice addition to it.
Yeah.
So. And this is the installation of a new berm to prevent washout onto Monica Drive. Let's hope the rest of these slides go okay. This is the paving of Fields Grove, the basketball court, and the parking lot entrance, which was badly needed. These are crews repairing a shoulder washout on Searles Road. And we've been removing brush and clearing sidewalks. This is an example on Emerald Drive. This is roundabout cleanup. We received a lot of complaints about the Broad Street roundabout, and it didn't look very nice. It was done professionally, and we removed most of it. We're going to come up with a new design, but at least it's, you can see around it. This was we have a very long list of tree removal work that Park and Rec is doing right now. This is an example of a very tricky tree removal at Sunside Heights Elementary School that was recently done. You probably noticed our fall plantings. The superintendent this year decided to not plant mums and plant pansies this year because the pansies will last right up until snow flies, whereas the mums just die in a month. So we'll see how this goes. We've had positive feedback so far from people. You can see at the left is French Park, and on the right, City Hall. We are having our Boo Bash this Saturday from 4:30 to 7. We have geared this event towards a younger population. We replaced it with we replaced Fright Night with this, and we we think it'll be very successful. We're gonna be painting pumpkins, and there'll be hay rides, and of course treats, and a movie, and a little bonfire, and so it should be a fun event. The 52nd Annual June Karen Senior Outing will be held on November 13th at noontime at the Courtyard by Marriott. And the event is free, but all seniors 60-plus must obtain a ticket. And seating is limited, but so far we've only sold about 200 tickets, so we'd love to sell some more tickets. If you know of any seniors that would like to attend, it's really a fun event, and it's free. We are starting our field trips again. This one is to the Boston Celtics game on November 25th. The price is $110 per ticket, which includes entrance to the game and the bus. So tickets are on sale now through our recreation department.
How many people can go?
It's a bus load, so probably maybe, 30, 40 or something, yeah. But we still have tickets, so if anybody's interested, sounds like a pretty good deal. This is work on the screw presses from our wastewater maintenance crew. They're removing one of the screws for repairs. These screw presses are what helps us to squeeze the water out of our sludge to make it drier, so before we ship it out. The wastewater treatment facility is also getting a facelift. The interior doors have been repainted. Our pump stations are at substantial completion. Two of them in the Phase 2 upgrade are Morris on the left and Spalding on the right. The final household hazardous waste collection for 2022 will be held on Saturday, November 5th, from 8 to noon at the Crown Street Park and Ride. The Fort Hills landfill will be closed on Friday, November 11th in honor of Veterans Day. Curbside pickup for Friday routes will be delayed by one day. So Friday routes will be picked up Saturday. So that shouldn't confuse people too badly. I'm also giving everybody advance notice of Thanksgiving. We'll be closed on Thursday, November 24th for the Thanksgiving holiday, and curbside pickup will be delayed by one day. We will be, even though City Hall is closed on Friday, we will be picking up trash on Friday. So I'm gonna try to say that a couple of times so people, so people hopefully remember. And then the last, we will have extended hours for soft yard waste in November. The landfill will be open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays, all in for the entire month of November. And that's it. Any questions?
All right, any questions, comments on the director's report? Commissioners' comments? Any commissioners have comments?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I do have one thing, if I may.
Go ahead, please.
As many know, we do have, earlier in October was Firefighter Memorial Sunday, and the memorial is at the intersection of Concord and Manchester. So I would like to thank Ms. Foto and her divisions for another fine job. I know they prep it and get it ready and everything else, so it's very much appreciated, so thank you.
I just have a couple more things.
Okay, keep going.
I just wanted to mention a couple of items that'll be of interest to you. The first thing is the single stream recycling. We've seen a big increase in the cost. In July, the cost per ton was $33. In August, went up to $64, and in September, now it's up to $90 a ton. So I'm being told that the market is just flooded with recyclables, and there's just limited options for the places that are taking them. So they're also saying inflation is playing a factor, but I think largely it's just the market is flooded right now with recyclables. So I'll keep you posted on this, but it's a little bit concerning. We were a few months ago, we were paying nothing, and now we're up to $90 a ton again. So I did want to make you aware of that. We are working on, Commissioner Lemon had discussed textiles with me. We are still working on that, and we should have something, a plan to present to you at our next meeting. Hopefully, it's right now it's with HelpSee, and they currently service Manchester. We've heard really great feedback, and the contract right now is with legal. They're reviewing it, so as soon as they've reviewed it, we'll bring it to you for your review. The other thing I wanted to mention is the Murray Field billboard. I know you all received an email about that. So a scoreboard was put up and paid for by the Kyle Bettinger Foundation primarily. I think Cal Ripken also donated some to the cause. And what they decided to do was sell advertising space. And I don't know the circumstances behind it, but there was an electric company that is on the billboard. And it came to our attention because the state said that you need to permit, it's in the state right of way, and this billboard needs to be permitted. So Alderman Como and Alderman Klee are currently working on some legislation by which the city will take over the advertising on the billboard and split it. But their plan is to split it equally between Cal Ripken and Little League, just to be fair. So there are some people that are not very happy about that, as you saw, but it's, it can't have a private entity using a billboard that is on city property. So that's, they're working that out. That once there is no legislation right now, they're working on it. We do have meetings coming up with both Cal Ripken and Little League to talk about this and to work through this. So once the legislation is drafted, it'll come before you to review. But I did want to I know you received the email, so I just wanted to alert you to that. The Shattuck Street tot lot, we've had a lot of problems there. Alderman Klee has come to me and asked to put cameras. We've had, graffiti, we've had dog feces. I mean, the kids are playing, and it's just horrible. People are using it for their dogs to run and making a mess, and it's making it impossible for kids to use it. So she went to the police. They would like cameras, so we'll be working with IT to put up some cameras at the Shattuck Street. It's sad that we have to get to this point, but
If you walk your dog there early in the morning, it seems like there are always people there, no matter when I go. Like, if I'm there at 5:30, there's already people there letting their dogs use it as a bathroom.
yes, I know.
I mean, and I walk my dog, but we don't do that.
Right.
Children play there.
And then,
How are cameras going to prevent people using it as a dog toilet?
what it'll do is so the police believe that they know who the offenders are, but what it'll do is allow them to have proof through the cameras of who's doing the
And then they
graffiti and
can
the.
find them?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah. I think so. I'm not exactly sure how they'll handle it, but yes, something like that. So it's unfortunate, but, so I did want to let you know about that. The other thing is we've had a rash of porta potties that have been set on fire. We had two at Roby Park, we had one at Fields Grove, we had one at the Greeley Boat Ramp. The police are involved, they've been made aware, but it's time to put them away. But the fire department has asked us not to put them back out right now because they're concerned about more damage to other buildings. So you've probably heard, so I did want to let you know. We don't know if they're related. I'm assuming they may be in some way. The police are involved, though. They've been called and they are investigating. So, but I just wanted to make you aware in case you heard that. And that's it.
If I may, my career as a firefighter did have a couple catch fire. It must have been lightning or something, but not very pleasant.
No. No, these are being set on fire,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Well, I said it facetiously.
Oh, you said it facetious, sorry. Yeah.
All right, any questions on any of those items? If not, we'll go on to personnel. Item A, Commissioner Lemon.
A motion to accept the retirement of Robert Gendron, street foreman, effective November 25th, 2022.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item B, Commissioner Shoneman.
I move to accept the retirement of Sean Dyer, groundskeeper maintenance, effective October 28, 2022.
How many years has Sean been on the city? Quite a few.
He's 25,
25 years, really?
yes. His dad was a former Public Works Commissioner,
Right.
Don Dyer.
And an alderman,
Right.
Oh, was he an alderman too? I didn't know that.
45. All right, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item C, Commissioner Moriarty.
Move to accept the resignation of Dylan O'Brien, collection equipment operator, effective October 14th, 2022.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item D, Commissioner Lemon.
The motion is to approve and unseal the non-public minutes for personnel from the Board of Public Works meeting of September 22nd, 2022.
All those in favor of the, to approve and unseal the minutes for personnel from the Public Works. Okay, any discussion on that? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now we have the non-public session. Commissioner Moriarty, I believe you have the motions.
I move by roll call that the board go into non-public session pursuant to RSA 91-A3, Roman numeral 2B, the hiring of any person as a public employee.
All right, any discussion? Let's call the roll. We gotta do a
Oh,
roll
I'm
call.
sorry, I keep thinking that somebody's going to do that. Mayor Donches,
Yes.
Commissioner Moriarty,
Yes.
Commissioner Shoneman,
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna go into non-public session. Are we back in?
We're back in.
All right, so we've concluded our non-public session. There's really nothing else on the agenda, so
We have to-
unless, oh, sorry. Commissioner Moriarty.
Thank you, Mayor. I move by roll call to seal the minutes of the Board of Public Works Personnel non-public meeting of October 27, 2022, until such time as the majority of the board votes that the purpose of the confidentiality would no longer be served.
And that's a roll call vote.
Yes, it is. Mayor Donches,
Yes.
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Shoneman,
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon.
Yes.
Motion passes. No further items on the agenda unless somebody has something else. I will turn to Commissioner Moriarty again.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that we adjourn the meeting.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes, and the meeting of the Board of Public Works is adjourned at 4:56 PM.